So 5 damage from the original hit. That goes up to 33 plus 24, which almost damages the amount, doubles the amount of damage I was on. 57. Okay. Max like half health now. Just for anyone watching.
All right. And then Coben's go. Go on, let's see it.
Is he now enlarged and war picky?
Oh shit! Yes, he is. So he charges over, and I'm ashamed to say he rolls a natural 6.
Oh, come on.
Like genuinely, not even making this up. He's worse than Arthur's. Clathate's gonna Eldritch Blast again. She rolls a natural 5. So
doesn't she have 2 rays?
probably. The other one hits. That's a natural 16. 6 damage. All right. This thing is it's looking a little rough. Like half dead, you might say. But it is still going strong.
I forgot that I can add my modifier to my cantrip damage now. Should have taken an extra 6 whenever I cast Word of Radiance.
Mina, it is your go.
I don't see how she's going to... She would have disadvantage on any attack rolls or attacks while she's in here because she's blinded, yes?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So she doesn't really have a way of getting out.
I mean, Spirit Guardians doesn't take you making an attack.
No.
It won't do 30 damage, but it might
But
do
then
next turn
you'll
coupled with
lose.
something.
No, you'll lose her holy weapon, though.
Oh. Sure.
I am just going to... Abrashmina is going to grab her holy symbol and pray and cast Guiding Bolt at disadvantage.
All right.
Does an 18 hit?
An 18 does just.
Okay. It's something. Probably not going to do 30. Unless I'm very lucky with those d10s. That is going to be 10, 28. So close. Oh, wait, 28 plus 6. Ha 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 ha. 34 points of damage. Yes. And it is now glowing.
It rolled a 28 on its con save.
Oh, so I'm still swallowed.
You are afraid.
The one time you remember. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't remember to roll damage on its turn. So for
It's not its turn again.
No, I know, but it was its turn again. Oh no, it wasn't. It wasn't. You're right.
No, it wasn't.
You're right.
Yeah.
I apologize. It is now.
Declan?
Yes.
With
it
advantage?
Is now glowing.
Woohoo!
I shoot it.
Crit.
And I will try to crit. I did not crit, but I do think I hit.
With advantage?
I mean, still pretty low chance. But yes, I rolled advantage. So yeah, does a 20 hit?
A 20 does hit. Yeah.
20.
Okay.
And then I need a saving.
6.
Intelligence.
15.
10.
For another
19, 21, 27 points of damage.
27 points.
Dunzo.
All right, you guys are starting to motor through damage on this thing. Makood.
Makood, seeing Mina swallowed, is going to reckless, great weapon master, everything he has against the beast. Oh, sweet God. That went from like a 3 and a 6 to like a 19 and a 17. Plus 11 minus 5. So both hit
Both hit.
with reckless.
You have an extra 2d8.
Oh
on
God,
both
and I have
attacks.
that as well. I do. This is gonna hurt, hopefully. Okay. First hit is 35. Wasn't that good on the dice. This next one looks better. 16, 20, 26, 36, 46. So that was 35 and 46. Damage.
Damn. That is a lot of damage, sir.
He gets
81.
he gets real angry.
This thing is not looking good now. You got it on the ropes, definitely, especially after that last hit. Bryn.
Attack. That is a 22 and a 23.
Both hit.
Alright. 12 for one, 11 for another, and I'm gonna defensive flourish for an additional 6 points of damage, and then I need an intelligence saving throw.
2.
That's 7 points of damage.
Alright, really not looking good at this point. But it's go. If that's your turn.
That is my turn.
Sweet. Mina.
Mm-hmm.
You take not a huge amount. 18 acid damage inside.
Abrashmina is
Inside.
unconscious.
Oh, good.
Uh-huh.
It's gonna turn at the rushing Coben, try and put him out of his misery, but it rolls terrible. Actually, it still hits. It rolled a natural 3, but Coben's a pussy. Coben.
Oh fuck! I should have done the elemental before Bryn.
You can go after the worm if that's cool.
Sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, it still hits Coben just. And Coben has to make a dex save. He fails. So he is going to take 7, 10. He's going to take 19 damage. Coben is almost dead. And he is swallowed. Landing on Mina. Mina fails the death save. I'm kidding. Stinger. That's what I was going to do. I will roll. Odds, evens. Dan, your odds.
Okay.
It's odds.
Okay.
Makood. 27 to hit.
Yeah, hits.
That's going to be 20 piercing damage. For the slashy. I need a Constitution saving throw, please, sir.
That's a big old fail. My saves have been awful.
Yeah, this thing's rolling well, this attack as well.
Great.
27 I'm actually struggling to add this one up. 42. 57 poison damage.
Holy
As it
fuck.
just seems to get you right in the fucking lungs.
Yep, that's Makud going down.
Makud's down.
Yeah, I was on about half health, and then he did 57 damage, so I can't block in any way, so then he just goes down.
Oof. So, Makud, you fall to the ground, and like before, the inevitable beetle begins expanding around you. Alright.
Is elemental?
The elemental.
Elemental.
It rolled real well on damage on its. It hit both attacks. It rolled well on the first one, which was 19 damage.
Yep.
And then the next one is 16 damage.
Okay, it's looking really rough at this point. Coben is going to make an attack inside it with disadvantage. The first one would be a hit. Watch this be a natural one. Just watch it. Oh! He hits! From inside, something switches in his mind. And he takes a triumphant strike at the beast. Where's this? Yeah, he takes a triumphant, powerful strike. And oh my god.
Enlarge and did.
And he has
So
2d8s, and by the sound of her voice, you can guess what they both rolled.
1?
8.
1.
The creature takes 4 damage.
Even.
What about mods and stuff? Jesus.
Yeah, its mod is +2.
Get better.
Genuinely.
But he's enlarged. Did.
Yeah, enlarge
Yes,
gives him 2d8 instead of 1d8.
Oh, okay.
And he rolled 1s on both. I'm staring at them. I like Coben. He's a good dude. I want him to do well. Kalate, scuttling over, leans down to the beetle and says, "Oh, hello." And she's going to healing word it at first level for 8 points of healing, Makud. As you feel your heart just kick-started back into rhythm, and your body kind of injected with adrenaline as the beetle's feet tickle you, and you feel it receding around you again. Mina.
Sweet. I've just read something that suggests. Oh, I don't know. I thought about spirit shielding myself, and I've never played it that way. But there is a discussion, and people are talking either way. I thought I'd found something definitive, but I hadn't. It's okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll my death saving throws with advantage because of the dragon or the worm thing from the dude that I selfishly kept for myself. And roll a kraken.
Boom. You awake screaming in a
Yeah,
horrible acid burning.
for sure.
And there's a dwarf ass in your face.
Great. I'm conscious.
Hooray.
That's
Declan.
all I can do.
So everyone's swallowed but me and Galacte?
No, Makud's dead on the ground or dying, and Bryn is out here as
Who
well.
got
Makud's
healed?
awake.
Okay, he's okay-ish for like 11 or something.
Okay.
Basically, the only people who are in there is Mina and Coben.
Okay. Just more damage. Crossbow shot.
21 hits, sir.
Sweet. 9. Ooh, 19. 25. 30 points of damage.
Nice.
It's consistent.
It's
It
still
is roughly about that, but it's a pretty good out innings, to be honest.
Makood.
Okay, I did actually just check up on it, and I read and Jeremy Crawford has clarified you are both an ally and that you can see yourself, so you can actually use the spirit shield on yourself because it specifically says allies you can see within 30. So I could actually spirit shield myself, so I'll have to think about
Unless
that going
you're
forward.
a barbarian with like self-esteem issues that has
Well, it just depends
Then
if
that's
you
kinda
consider
dark.
yourself an ally to.
That's what I'm just saying.
True. Yeah.
No, I was making a. I suppose it didn't really come across, but I was talking about like if someone calls you an ally in 2020.
Sure. So I have to think about that in future because that makes it very, very useful for him. I
Good.
always played it as other people.
Cool.
Anyway, she brings him up on like 11 health. So the beetle like starts expanding and then sort of recedes again. Makudo pat the beetle. Give Calaste kind of like a look of thank you. She probably like helps him up. Then he is going to heft hammer. Mina died, so it's not holy anymore, is it?
Oh yeah, I would have lost concentration on it. So that
Yeah.
Makood can have a reaction to that, I guess.
I mean, Makood's already pretty angry, but like the holy
Mhm.
hammer goes away, and he is going to be distraught. But this thing looks
Maybe she just lost concentration, that's all.
maybe, but also inside a giant killing creature thing. Those are 2 hits. Those are not crits, unfortunately. That was reckless.
Go on, Makood, you can do it.
I didn't say Great Weapon Master, so I won't count it. 15, 25 on the first hit.
Oh, you kill it on the first hit.
Oh,
Describe
okay.
how you kill a second dragon worm.
He is gonna like come back up, be helped to his feet by Calanthe, and like white knuckle basically the haft of Igmuti's maul, and he's gonna. I presume he can see roughly where Coben is in this creature, maybe, or like he's been in these creatures before. He knows where their stomach is and where their neck kind of joins, and he is just going to like almighty like with a raw smash where like the neck joins the body, and it's just going to pierce through that armor and like plunge itself into the gore, and he's probably going to tear most of it away as he like comes down. I imagine
Yeah.
it's like a leaping strike, and then he is going to start pulling people out
Does
frantically.
Mina take acid damage and fall unconscious again? 'Cause
No.
I'm sure it's gonna take some time to get her out.
I mean, as long as Makood can see her, the spirits are gonna protect her.
Declan will ask Bryn, do you have any healing magics left?
I do.
Good.
Are you in need of them?
For Uppershmina, no, I'm fine.
Get that smock back on and get her out.
Yeah, I guess I can do it.
Makood would have. He's only on 11 health, but Makood would be like he's gonna pull Coben out at the very least, and if not, try and get Mina out there.
Yeah, you can get them out. Like, you'd make a hole.
He'll pull her out and like hold her, probably, cradle her in his arms, kind of thing. The hammer went out. I thought you were gone.
It went dark for a moment, I will not lie.
It is pretty dark in there. And I imagine you almost being like helped out by like these sandy, rocky, possibly slightly bloody Minotaur spirits.
Yeah, Abrashmina definitely has like a shake
Mhm.
to her limbs.
I think I have had enough fighting for today.
That's 12 points of healing to you, Abrashmina. Just healing word at 4th level.
Oh, thank you, darling.
You're welcome.
Are you all right, Mina?
Think I lost consciousness there for a moment or two.
It is an unsettling thing to be at death's door. I imagine even for one in your position.
I know that if it was my time, I would have been welcomed gracefully. It was clearly not meant to be. She kind of swallows, but like it's still a little bit holy shit, but there's still like that Abrashmina calmness.
Mm-hmm.
She's had people be like, "You are going to die," like several times to her in like the recent past, and neither time like distraught her or anything like that. So she's shook but chill, if
Mm-hmm.
that's possible.
Well, thank the gods you're all right.
And
Thank you, my friends.
I think we'll take a quick break there if everyone's chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo.
Sweet. As for the stream, don't know why my frame rate's getting fucked up because my internet's still fine. But I've stopped the stream and we're just recording now, so I'll upload that. But the other stream, which is it's like an hour and a half, is all up in like 5 parts on the YouTube already. I just clicked the export thing, and I clicked on one of them to hear it, and the audio sounds fine. The video's a bit jumpy, so I think it's alright. But there's just maybe some like small gaps missing, whatever.
Before we go away, I'm just gonna say Abrashmin is gonna use the last charge to heal Makud
Sure.
for 28.
Oh my. Okay.
Also, a fun little memento of this game, which I'm more looking forward to for next campaign, is that basically since what's it called? Since you guys fought the Barakados in that dude's house when shit went down with Makud getting a new life, I have been using the same Procreate document to record every combat to make my notes. So I have a time lapse of like the health and initiative and everything of every monster.
Okay.
Like as you guys slowly while it down. It's quite fun to watch. Also, you can tell when because I just doodle when I'm bored. So I end up drawing the stupidest shit. And the other thing is like I have an ongoing kind of inside joke with myself where I give each combat a very humorous name in the document. You guys never see it. So I will share that with you guys on the break. So you watch this like
Okay.
a minute and a half. But it'll be cool because in next campaign we'll have every combat that we do in that game on the scratch pad. So
Nice.
yeah, just a little thing. Anyway,
Sweet.
I'll be right back.
We survived.
Same.
Just about.
Ooh, that was rough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that
the
was.
first one was just a vanilla purple worm. The second one was the exact same, except it had almost triple the health.
So glad I used all of my stuff on the first one.
As Makud said, that one was merely a warm up.
yeah.
This was a fight. I have to go
Oh,
away, but I will be back soon.
Yeah, same.
Ditto.
I'll be right back.
I have returned.
Hey, me too.
Woo.
We got the exact same timing.
What's Mina's max health out of interest?
87.
87. So basically 90, and I have 110 hit points, so that's 200 there. And then the chime has another 100, so that's 300 hit points there. Plus whatever damage done to anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Whew.
That part of the fight, Bryn didn't get as much damage,
Yeah.
but like that first fight was ridiculous.
Yeah, when you took that
Yeah.
heavy hit, I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
that's not good for Brain.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Ooh.
So like, oh, the first hit wasn't too bad, and then like that poison damage was just redonkulous.
Yep. Better believe Declan is taking all of these stickers. I've got the fangs from those snakes as well. We'll make some serious poison weapons or something after this.
Why does everyone want to eat us? Seriously.
Some
Everything down
poison
here.
resistance, poison resistance, blah 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 blah.
I mean, I would not pass that up.
And
Um,
you make us resistant to this stupid poison. Also make it so things stop trying to eat us.
yeah. I don't feel Makud could be the taste. Like I feel swallowing something as big as Makud with horns, like it's just gonna hurt like all the way down.
Honey Badger don't care.
Oh. I haven't seen any direct spoilers for the Critical Role, but I hear it's a fairly serious episode with something fairly serious that happened.
I was actually out of work today, so I got to watch it.
Oh,
Ooh.
right. Wow.
All I've seen is that apparently Jester was MVP.
Yes. I don't want to spoil it for what I saw that she was MVP for, but Jester MVP. Which, you know, is normal because Jester is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my favorite character.
Who is?
Oh, Jester, my favorite character.
Oh yeah. Same.
Laura's usually my favorite cast member in general.
Yeah. My favorite character from Vox Machina was Percy,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
followed closely by Vex
I do.
and Grog.
Mm-hmm.
And Scanlan. I loved all of Vox Machina.
Laura's certainly up there in terms of cast members, but it's very hard to
Yeah, of course.
split hairs on some of them. But
I say
It's
when they're
personal
on their
preference.
game, like they are equally amazing.
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm. I just Jester is so, and I think Matt especially is really kind of love hating DMing for Jester because it's just such a different D&D character, and
Mm.
from what you would expect. I love how I've never seen like people get so in with like messages. It's like a group effort for her to send a message, and everyone loves it every time she
Mhm.
does. It warms my heart. It really does.
Like the letters she writes her mom and stuff.
When she sends message and like Travis is and Taliesin are
up.
like counting it off on their fingers, and
Oh, yeah.
everyone's just watching in awe as she like completely
Right.
messes with the spell.
I really wish she would just stop announcing herself because I'm like, you're
Mm-hmm.
wasting words. They know what
Uh-huh.
that it's you. Read the spell.
Well, I'm sure she's aware. I think that's probably the gag.
I think that's become the gag.
Are you pooping?
Dude, she is oh man, Laura fucking Bailey.
Mm-hmm. I have to say, I love. Not that I hated Caduceus in the beginning or anything, but the more I watch Caduceus, the more I love him. It's got better like every
Yeah.
episode.
Mm-hmm.
I love Bo.
Bo makes me appreciate Keyleth a whole lot more.
Like you prefer Keyleth to Bo?
No. That I like what I found annoying about Keyleth was a
Oh.
character choice, and it's okay to find that annoying, if
Mhm.
that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah.
Like the only thing I don't like about Marisha the player is that she gets like angry whenever Matt disagrees with her. But like everyone else is just kind of like, oh, okay. But she gets like,
A little butt hurt.
yeah, she gets butthurt. That's my only thing.
I mean, that's just some players, though, right?
And it's not like a huge deal either. Not like Orion and Matt fighting.
Oh,
That was difficult to watch.
Are you up to date, Dylan?
No, I fell off again.
Okay.
But I mean, I was planning on getting back into it. Just I've fallen off. But
Okay.
I got pretty far on this last watch. I think they were level like 6 or 7.
Okay. I think
Kind of
let
hard
Are
me
to
they
remember
on the water
exactly.
yet?
Are they what?
On the water yet?
Yeah, they were in the Menagerie Coast visiting Dexter's mom, and then they leave. And isn't that where they get on a boat? Yeah, so somewhere around there.
Okay.
Cool.
So you got the whole pirate arc thing
To look forward to.
look forward to, yeah. Cool. There's some good stuff there. There's some good
Yeah,
stuff.
I love the show. I mean, it's just such an investment.
I am.
And I still,
You
and
know, absolutely.
I watch it on my Xbox YouTube app, and like I tried doing like the watch it and fast forward thing, but I don't think that's a setting in the app.
No, it's not.
That was just it's kind of hard
Oh,
to
that
find.
sucks.
Yeah.
I'm about 12 episodes behind. So
Okay.
basically 3 months. And like I've listened to like a couple hours, but yeah, like I just I don't know. This one's not really doing it for me. Like I when I'm in the mood for it, I love it, but like I really not to discourage you or anything, Dylan, but like I really didn't like the pirate arc. I was super bored, and everything they've done after that has really bored me as well. I'm not finding the plot very interesting.
Is it because you're so far behind, you're just catching up with all the things Matt stole from you?
Yeah, that too. But I just don't find it as compelling. Like I love the game. I love like when I'm in the mood for it, like fucking love it. Piss myself laughing and everything at the funny moments. And I know like something big just happened because like everyone was tweeting that Laura Bailey did something amazing in the last one, and Matt was like, I'm almost upset, but I'm just so proud, or something like that. But yeah, like I want to get to that so I can see it, but I just have no motivation to do something.
I have to say, like right now, like a lot of the kind of threads and the schemes and the conspiracies and stuff that are going on in the background have like come to a head, and they've had like episode after episode that has been either super tense combat or like super tense RP with various members of various councils or something, and like Liam has like been bringing down the house with like these super emotional Caleb like heavy hits of RP stuff. It's been as he says baller right now. It's so good.
I think
Liam and Laura like play like the two type of characters I like to play: tortured and silly.
I think it's a combination between like the characters I just don't in general just don't like enjoy as much. Like I think
sequels are always hard. And
no,
it was a worry that they were never going to capture that magic again.
I do love it, and I think it's great. But I think what it is for me is just like kind of a silly thing is I just don't enjoy it as much that they're all kind of special snowflakes in their own way, a little bit, which like it just I don't know, it just
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Well, like, if you look at campaign 1, you had like Grog, Scanlan, well, basically the only people with like real dark shit in their backgrounds were like Percy and that sort of thing, and like the only ones with kind of special abilities and all that sort of thing. Everyone else was just kind of normal. That makes sense. Like Keyleth didn't really have any super like dark or lots of secrets and all that kind of thing. And then in this one, like everyone's got stuff that they keep hidden. And
It is much more grey. Like instead of
yeah,
being the super
and
heroic stuff, and maybe
but
that's what
it's
you
not
like more.
it's not
but-
even that. It's just like everyone's got magic and everyone's I don't know.
And
The
they had a
characters
very
just don't go
non-magic party last time,
Yeah.
so that's why everyone went.
And then the other thing is it just moves so slowly. And I like our campaign moves real slowly, but I like hanging out with you guys and I have some agency. Whereas watching people debate over like tiny things for 4 hours is much less fun when I'm not a part of it.
Yeah, my wife says it's like watching other people have fun.
Like
Which
this
makes a lot of sense. Like
this
I get
is
that.
I have never agreed with that sentiment when people have said that about like watching D&D or watching like video game plays or something.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the first time where I kind of see that, where I'm like, I can tell they're enjoying themselves, but like they've accomplished fucking nothing in ages, and it's just real slow. And I'll like start listening to it and find myself just like doing other shit and not really paying attention, and then I like come back to it and I haven't really missed much.
I think that's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy, because the more you miss, the more you think they've done nothing, and then like the more
True,
that
but
carries
like
on.
I'll like phase out for a
I-
bit and they'll be talking about the same stuff.
I will agree that it is slower, but that was kind of what people missed, because we missed the first 8 levels of the last campaign, and now they're kind of just up, or were recently just up to where they were in the last campaign. So
Yeah,
and they are taking their
and
time.
I wanna make it clear, like
But-
I'm not like I'm nitpicking here. I absolutely love the show. One of my favorite things on the internet. I will definitely watch it all. That's why I'm kind of burned out on it at the moment. And then when the mood strikes, like I'll come back to it and listen to every episode in like 2 weeks, just while I'm working or whatever, and I'll be caught up.
Hey,
That's more or less where I'm at with it.
we should play our game instead of talking about someone else's.
I'm coming down with a bit of a headache at the moment, so it probably won't go super long, like half an hour to an hour more. Yeah, so you guys stand by the corpse of the purple worm, catching your breath a little bit. It's not been very long since you last took a night's rest, but I think most of you are pretty damaged, so it's up to you what you do.
I will try to harvest some more poison if I can.
Yeah, absolutely. Make me a survival check.
What'd you say, Jade?
I said, way to call us out, calling us all damaged like that.
Makud will help you with your survival, because I'm also proficient. If you need it, like
We can have
tail
some
breaking off
guidance
or something.
I do.
and
I
guidance.
do.
And guidance and guidance.
And guidance and guidance. I've got so many bonuses. 19?
Yeah, sure. You can get a good like 4 vials of poison out of it.
Okay, thank you for advantage and guidance.
You're welcome. How many vials did you get off the first one?
I don't think you gave it to me in vials.
Not in vials, no. It just
Oh,
said
you got
harvested
the
stuff.
got the strands. Okay, the glands.
The glands, yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Can Makud like just hammer or punch like clean through the barbed tail end?
Yeah,
Cool. He's just gonna bag that.
sweet.
Brashmina is going to cast a prayer of healing.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. Look at me, healing like a real cleric. That mantle is so nice. That is 5 plus 7 is 12, 22, 24. plus 6, 30 points of healing to everybody.
Whoa,
36, you said?
30.
30.
30, sorry.
30.
Okay. Before you came back, Rob, I was just saying that you did probably about 350-ish damage between me, Mina, and the charm. My
Nice.
resistances, just on top of whatever else.
That's awesome.
Hefty amount.
Yeah, those things hit hard. Like I said, they were just out of the book.
I was so
And-
mad at myself because if I had if I had quaffed a healing potion while I was swallowed, I wouldn't have gone unconscious.
Yeah. And like according to the rules, you guys shouldn't be fighting those until way high level. So
Sure, but rule schmools.
yeah. Well, that's why I threw them at you.
I know, I love it.
Plus, you fought a demi-lich last session, which again, way too high level. But everything has fucking no hit points, and D&D characters hit hard, let alone with stupid items. So, yeah.
True that.
True.
True that. But now we have stakes for days.
You do.
Uh,
So what would you like to do?
how far does Coben say we are from? Has the rumbling stopped? Is there
Yeah.
another one? Like
Yeah.
a third bigger one?
There's always a bigger fish. Yeah, you hear no more rumbling. And Coben, after kind of trying to get his bearings for a bit, suggests it's probably only a day or two away. Or you're probably only a day or two away.
Well, then it's best to press on.
I am more than happy to walk for a bit.
How long do we have left in this day?
I think it's probably been about 5-6 hours since you rested.
Okay.
So
quite a while.
About the same again, yeah.
Okay. We walk.
Very well. So we're gonna skip past the last day.
Well, so real quick while we're walking, as we're getting going, Declan will ask Makud, would you perhaps like to add anything to our book for the letter I?
He probably still kind of mucky or whatever, covered in blood and stuff. They walk for a while. Ichor, yes. That is an I word that he would not know. And he puzzles for a bit. I
Do you know the sound that the letter I makes?
I
It is I, but also eh, sometimes. So it could be island, or it could be institution.
oh
Or any word that sounds like that.
the only thing that I can think of that they might have come across that Makud might remember is, did the Shelfady like have ice?
Yeah.
Because I cannot think
Certainly.
of
I'm
many
pre-
other ice words. Oh,
What
I
about-
words.
What about your mall?
Oh, Igmoot. The thing is that we
Igmooty.
never take. I don't remember if
We got
Ifrit
a name.
or whatever ever introduced himself. I know it's called Igmooty's Mall, but it's a bit like the Missing Fisted Doll or something with Yova that we don't actually know. Like,
Yeah.
or like the Hammer of Set, we don't know it's called that.
Yeah,
It's
so
just written that.
I imagine
Oh.
that, or I've always kind of imagined that, like, once you attune to something, you sort of innately know its name.
Okay.
So you can know it's Igmooty's Mall if you want.
Okay. Interesting.
What about interplanar travel?
We did just experience that technically.
What about icky things?
That's probably more likely.
Intelligence. Incongruous reporting.
So
An ibex.
That time where I nearly died.
An inn.
I was actually thinking that while you guys were getting swallowed. I is for intestine.
There's inn, Imp, Ivy.
I mean, Declan has a good one, but he's waiting to see if Makud has something he likes
Impel
particularly.
down.
I mean, he likes ice, but he is
Ice.
pondering Igmuti, but then also it's his. It's not
Mm.
Ashar's. So I think what do you think?
I was thinking perhaps I is for Istis, who is the guardian of fate.
Oh Lord, we should have thought of that one.
But I also like I is for the mole of Igmuti. Well, I is for Igmuti's mole. It is a wonderful thing.
It is, but not everyone gets to experience it.
It's very true. I
And,
appreciate your
and
consideration
when they
for the
do,
reader.
he kind of like points to the worm. I
Idols.
I I I think is this that works? Ice works.
Ice is very good.
Why don't you? And he'll like collaborate with your drawing or something. And can we get like the god Istus sitting like drinking something with ice in?
Yeah.
Sure.
Because he really, the thing is, he really likes the Shelford and the people in it. And
It's
although, sorry,
it's just the multi-armed goddess that sits at a loom with a porcelain mask, like pulling it aside so that she could sip an icy drink in the middle of the
Yeah.
Shelfady. I love it.
I is for if statements, which are of great use in coding Python. In the language of the snake. Oh, that's
So
my...
I is for I. Excuse me. I is for ice in the glass, which cools the glass of Istis.
yeah. Ice for ice that cools the drink that Istus drinks. The drink of Istus.
It cools the
did
drink
you
of
put
Istis. All right. I'll draw as best as I can exactly what Makud is describing. And...
It's now my headcanon that the 1T language is just Python script. And that's how they communicate.
Sure.
Which
That sounds like hell.
it is like Python script is full of Monty Python references.
Right. I hope so.
Because it's based on that. So like one of the classic things you learn when you're learning to code it is how to make it like print the words like spam and eggs and stuff like that. Like it's all Python references. Oh shit!
Oh.
And everything you learn, like all the examples, use Monty Python. It's a very cool language.
Great.
Anywho, just got to drop a bit of knowledge. Yeah. So we'll skip past slightly the next 2 days or the next day and a half probably. You guys rest in the middle, I imagine, and push on. And
Brush me na.
are you gonna do some?
Ooh. I don't know how to interpret that 20 that I just rolled. Abrashmina is going to tell Eli that she almost died. However, he wants to take that. They should be like, fought a giant purple worm today, swallowed it, and
I assume you mean it swallowed me.
it swallowed me, and things went dark.
And then we swallowed
For a
it
little while.
in the form of steaks.
Yeah.
I mean, Maku can try like before. But...
So
Hey!
that you get a response back immediately, and he says, "God, are you all right? I feel I should come and help if things are going so badly. I want you safe."
It's fine.
And she'll send like another message back that's all like, of course I am fine, otherwise I would not have been able to message you. But it was close. I do not know how having you here would have changed things other than to make you watch it happen. That'll be that message, I guess.
This response takes a little longer, and he says, "Oh, I hadn't thought of it like that. I suppose, but I feel very helpless here when you're in so much danger."
How much time are we taking right now? Or I guess we're just walking
This
for a
is
couple days,
resting.
right?
This is
Yeah, this
resting
is resting.
time. We've skipped to resting.
Abarashvina would respond with the last sending in the stone for the day with we shall be at an outpost soon. I will not ask you to join us because it is dangerous. But if you cannot bear to stay in Ashar, I will wait for us to find a way for you to find a way to get here. So she's basically making it his choice.
Yeah.
She won't ask him.
And he messages back and says, "Well, I will speak to Alluri and see what can be done. If you need me, I'll be there. I miss you."
She can't respond to that one, so it'll have to wait until tomorrow night.
Oops.
Unless he learns sending during one of his level.
He didn't.
What level is Eli?
Eli is.
You don't have to tell me, but I'm
That's
curious.
fine. Never mind. He's currently level 10.
Okay. How is he higher level than us? That's bullshit.
We are level 10.
What? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. I leveled up. I totally leveled up.
Wait a minute. What game are we playing?
That's why I'm able to add damage modifiers to my cantrips now.
Oh.
Okay. And is there anything else you'd like to do while resting, or just after, or just before?
I'm going to spend however much time we have in downtime before we get there working on more shields.
For sure.
How many hours of work time will I have roughly?
If you rest, 8 hours if you do the whole thing. Otherwise, sort of depends. But for everyone to get a full rest in, including your NPCs, that's going to be 14 hours?
Does
Oh, no. Yeah, she needs to rest.
Does she stay with us? Because she talked about just traveling with us
Oh,
for the
yeah,
day.
yeah, she would turn back. That's a good point.
Okay, bye.
Makud would invite her to have steaks, purple
Yeah,
worm steaks or
she
something.
would join you for the day, but the next morning, she says, I must get back to my my garden. Thank you for letting me come with you and help. I hope I'll get to see you again.
Thank you very much for your assistance, Kalafte. We hope to see you as well soon.
It was wonderful to meet you.
She beams at you all. And you.
Makud is gonna hug her because I imagine she's actually on relatively his-ish kind of size, or bigger.
Yeah, she's bigger, but
not someone that he can just necessarily pick up.
no.
It was good having you. I do hope to see you again.
Yes, me too. She'll give you a big hug back. Maybe a couple spidery legs joining the hug.
Take all of the worm that you want. I'm sure it'll be good for the garden.
Oh, I will. And if you need me, you can always. Well, you know where to find me. And she'll scuttle away.
She was a very nice girl. I hope we get to see her again.
I'm sure we will.
We will make sure of it.
A sad condition for her to be in, though. Her people must be malicious to have done such a thing to her.
Maybe
Do I know
spider.
anything about the drow?
Probs not, but you can roll history.
Makut, thinking back to the experience of spiders out under here, is that maybe spiders mean something different here.
From what she said, it was not a desire to be as she is. She seems to be making the best of a bad situation. And I have no particular fear or hatred of spiders. But to be forced into a form such as that, to be made in exile wherever you go, it's a grave punishment.
She's forgotten most of what happened to her.
For the best, I'm sure.
You have absolutely no idea, but yes.
Having a little bit of a hard time hearing you, Jaden.
I said you have absolutely no idea, but it is for the best.
Declan nods.
I don't know anything. I only rolled a 10. Drow exist. That's what Abroshmina knows.
I met one once.
Mm-hmm.
We're walking for a day and a half more, you said, Rob?
Yes.
All right. Well, so that should give me enough time to create one more shield.
Does Eli say anything after speaking to Uluri?
No. He doesn't have sending.
Yes, he does. He has sending stones. That is how I am communicating with him, so he could
Yeah, but you use them all.
communicate. It's a new day.
Oh, right. No.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there any weird god shit you want to do before we get there?
Sorry.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So, 6 become 5, and Coben leads you guys through a few more caverns until you finally reach the outpost. It's this huge, tall tower that acts kind of like a pillar between the floor and ceiling, touching both, and seemingly built from both. It's made of stone, but there's like wood scaffolding all over it, and it gives the impression that it's constantly being rebuilt and worked on and changed. You see in the center, there is this kind of dull orange glow, like a large fire, that kind of helps to illuminate some of the room. And the sounds of business and busyness kind of echo through this cavern. It's an industrial sounding place.
Sorry,
and
I don't see that.
I could not possibly have said your name. It's an industrial sounding place, and it's very kind of strange looking. The way it's appears to be both naturally shaped from stone, but also be completely man-made or dwarf-made. But Coben seems heartened by the sight of it and picks up the pace a little, lengthening his stride, and leading you towards a door in the foot of it that is far too small for Makud. Eventually, though, you squeeze through, and inside you find it to be this very like almost like a large spiral staircase that kind of goes all the way up, but it's much larger than that and surrounded by like different rooms and almost other buildings, as though this is a keep like you would see on the sun side of the world, but reformed into a different shape, such that it has all the same functions but appears completely different. You see dwarves, much like Coben, who all stare at you unabashedly as you approach, and a couple have whispered words with Coben, but none of them seem hostile, none of them seem angry or upset that you've arrived. And Coben,
Especially whenever he shows them the iron that we got.
yeah, that too. But Coben seems to know exactly where he wants to take you, and begins ascending the stairs. If you'd like to speak to him before you arrive wherever it is you're going.
Declan will ask, Coben, is there anything you'd like to advise us of before we interact with your people? Customs or social faux pas or taboos we should be aware of?
He shrugs a little and says, be honest, don't be insulting, speak with honor, do not disrespect us, and you will be fine.
Very well. It's an impressive fortress. Your people have great skill in building, clearly.
Thank you. He chuckles. And kind of, as you're growing, kind of climbing higher and higher, you find that the air gets warmer and warmer, getting rid of some of that underdog chill that you've been experiencing. And finally you arrive at what appears to be a gigantic forge, manned by several dozen dwarves, all doing different things. And there's one barking orders, kind of standing at the head of this, like kind of right next to the forge on this kind of raised platform. You can see there's like a gigantic anvil, like the size of a small house, that 4 dwarves, all enlarged with gigantic hammers, are beating down on some piece of glowing orange metal, hammering it flat, while others all around are pumping bellows, feeding coal. It's a place of action, and you can see that they all work very well together. They all know their jobs, know what's expected of them, and follow the sort of rhythm of the forge. And Coben walks up to the forge master, who is this old, like kind of scraggly bearded, thinning hair, very heavily wrinkled dwarf, who kind of squints to see him in this, even in the bright light of the forge. And the two share some quiet words in Duergar before the forge master kind of walks over and gives you all a kind of polite nod and begins speaking in Terran to you all, as Coben's informed him that one of you speaks the language. And he says, Coben tells me that you are here to help us against the squid faces.
We would like to seek your aid in infiltrating their city, and if the trade for that is our help in a fight, then I think I can say that you would have it.
Yeah. Coben kind of mutters a couple things in Duergar to him, and the man looks a bit surprised, and he says, Coben tells me you took down 2 of the purple scaled beasts. This is correct?
We did, as a unit. Coben himself was of some help and fought quite bravely.
That is good to hear. And Coben kind of gives you like appreciative nod at the compliment. Well, we would appreciate such strength on our side. You would be welcome to join us.
So we clarified with someone earlier that what we're looking for is we think is the elder brain or something, right? Like,
Yes.
we might not have
Yes,
used
yes.
those words exactly, but
Yeah, I think.
No, he did.
Yeah.
Coburn
oh, okay,
said elder brain.
okay. We would have you understand, though, that we have certain priorities. There is a great risk to the surface world that originates below. We think the source of this danger is within the illithid city, and we should warn you that we will do whatever it takes to end this danger. If there comes a point where our goals come at odds, I hope that we can find agreeable terms.
You talk in a circle around what you mean. What are your goals?
We do not know exactly what it will take to end the threat. It could be to destroy this elder brain, or it could be something else.
Well, we seek to destroy it. We seek to burn the city to the ground. We seek to kill the beast heads and all of the squid faces. If these are aligned with your goals, then we will have no problem.
Is Declan or anyone translating?
Yeah, I'm going to pause now and translate everything that's been said so far. And then I'll say in common, or in Ashari, I guess. I'm not sure that I am comfortable with the enormity of that.
I do not. According to what Coben said, the real threats are probably this elder brain and only the wizards of Tomokepi. I do not think wholesale slaughter of all of the illithid is necessary.
I will translate that. Did this guy give his name?
He hasn't as of yet.
Forgive me, sir. I have been remiss and forgot to ask your name.
I am Uki.
Okay. My name is Declan. This is Abrashmina Makud and Brynhild. We, as you may understand, have a code of honor that we have tried our best to live up to. We try not to deal out unnecessary death where we can. And we do not know whether the extermination of an entire people is just. Can you explain to us why it is you seek their death so completely?
When one of your own was like, they were chill until those guys showed up with the freaky faces.
Right.
We seek to eradicate them because they have become a nuisance.
Could there be no accord struck with them?
That is unclear, but what one sees, they all see. What one thinks, they all think. The brain that controls them, if it is destroyed, they are destroyed. And so we see no way to avoid this scenario.
Do you have the strength to do such a thing? Do you have the numbers?
Of course. We are Duergar. He slaps his chest.
Insight check.
Of course he does.
That is a 24 insight.
Dude thinks one Duergar could do it.
So he's wrong.
He's not necessarily wrong. He's just very patriotic.
Right, but I mean, I'm trying to figure out whether or not he is making a rational assertion here.
I mean, you think he is very confident
Mm-hmm.
in the Duergar's ability to do this. Like you're not able
Right.
to you're not able to fact check. You're able to see
Well,
what
no,
he
of
thinks
course. Well,
with an insight
we
check.
know there's thousands and thousands of illithid.
A couple thousand, yeah.
A couple thousand. What are your numbers?
There are in the city 10,000.
10,000 Duergar,
Yes,
and they will all fight.
everyone except the children.
Then you know you outnumber them,
We do.
and you will do this regardless of whether or not we help you.
We will.
We could just sit back and let them do it. I mean, we don't know.
Yeah, we solved the problem.
Yeah. We just gotta go up top and wait. They'll do it for us.
Yeah, my paladin brain is saying you can't let them
You're
commit
not a
genocide.
paladin.
Yes, I am. My lawful good side is saying we can't let them do that.
Even from the squid faces that attacked us on site.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You're not entirely sure how sentient these creatures are. They just try to eat your brain.
Well, I mean, they were hungry, you know. Can't really blame them.
It's going to happen one way or another.
I'll say what Uki was the guy's name, right?
Yeah.
I will say. I wonder if we could request your hospitality for the night, Uki, while we discuss amongst ourselves what we think is the best course of action.
Of course. You are welcome to guest quarters. Though I must ask you do not wander. If we do not
Are
come
there
to an
specific area-
agreement, if we do not come to an agreement, then we wish our secrets to remain secret to us.
Understandable. Which areas should we avoid?
I would humbly request you avoid all areas but those assigned to you.
Very well. I do wonder if there is a workbench that I could utilize.
You're a craftsman?
Fledging, yes. I have developed a technique of magical infusion, actually, which requires no input of spell energy resources. And I could be perhaps persuaded to aid your warriors with some of these infusions if you like. Depending on how long we have before departing. It does take some time.
This is very interesting to me. And he gives you like a kind of stiff half bow.
Mm-hmm.
We have great respect for craftsmen. We would be honored for you to use our workbench.
Many thanks, Suki.
Declan gets a crick in his back because it's shorter than he's used to.
I'll turn to the group. Shall we retire for a bit?
I wish me I will not. Excuse me.
Not in yawn.
Sure.
When you came to translating, did you like translate beast heads fairly
Yeah, I would
accurately?
I would probably put it into Declan terms, but he would be speaking for Makud, you know, like so that he would know what he's talking about.
Okay. Because I think Makud is aware that people called him a beast and such, and less than
Right.
a man. And so, like, he is like looking just amongst the hundreds of accrued dwarves and things around here. just to see like if anyone is going to jump him or something, because no one has told him that he's not someone that they're wanting to kill.
I mean, does Declan get a sense that Makuta is uncomfortable in that regard?
Yeah, I would imagine so. Like he's on guard rather than relaxed after you like say
Yeah.
that they want to kill the beast-headed ones, and he's like,
Right.
he has enough
So
self-preservation.
Declan would probably put a hand on his arm and just say, "They are not referring to you, Makut. These men and women are not your enemy."
I mean, Coben shot me the first time we met.
He
If
did.
they all shoot me,
He also came to save your life after you were swallowed. You saved your own, of course, but he tried.
I meant the wizards, Makud. Not anyone like you.
I am sure they can make the distinction.
I've been called beast before. And he's just
By those ignorant and hateful, Makud. And she'll Abrashmina will lay a hand on his arm.
I mean, besides, if they wanted us dead, they would have attacked us already.
Quite true.
he kind of like looks to Brayton and there's like a slight grin, like they can try.
Absolutely.
You think you could tackle 10,000 dwarves?
You probably realize that he has no concept for 10,000. I would give it my best shot.
That is,
I'm sure I could take a few.
For clarity, that is roughly one dwarf for every. I was going to say blade of grass on a tree. There's not a whole lot of grass on a shore, is there? Or blade of grass on the ground, or on trees. Roughly one for every grain of sand.
That is
not in the whole desert, but quite a lot of sand.
That's like one.
I'm having a hard time here. One handful of sand.
That's like one for every grain of sand that's currently sitting in our bar, probably.
Right, exactly. But that's a lot of dwarves.
Yeah.
Makud will take 5,000 and I'll take 5,000.
See, Bryn has confidence in our abilities. I will take whatever rest they offer. We can go.
Well, if we're not wrapping up, I mean, Declan will once we're all alone, we'll bring up. How does everyone feel? I'm sure you all know how I feel, but I'm curious to poll the group.
We're not going to stop them from this, right?
That is my impulse.
And then we might as well benefit from it.
Well, my impulse is to try and stop them, but I don't know how practical it is.
Declan, I do not know if it is something that we can do to actually stop. If our goal is to defeat the Elder Brain, they claim that it will break the remaining. That is why they are so focused on reaching it. It may not be a choice. Like if we destroy the Elder Brain, we'll be doing it to save the people of Ashar on the surface. But it would be at the expense of these Illithid. Unless we can... if we focus on taking out the wizards, perhaps the Elder Brain, without their influence, would revoke the gift they have given this burned. That is not something that we could know.
No, I understand. It just pains me. This is a culture, a race of people we do not understand. What we do know, they were not evil, just manipulated by dark forces. Seems a shame to hand wave their extinction. But I understand the practicalities.
They stand in the way of our success.
That is not necessarily the reason. They are just an unfortunate price we must pay to have this on our hands. But if these illithids have been corrupted, it could be that there is no saving them.
That is not a logic we have applied to any other situation we have been in before.
No, we usually try to find a path that does not require, and she kind of makes like a wry smile. Try not to burn it all out.
I mean,
To-
what would we have done if the cultists had attacked us?
We would have defended ourselves, of course, but we would only have defended ourselves from the ones who raised their hands against us. If the illithid do not raise their hands against the dwarves after the elder brain is destroyed, then it is no longer defense. It will be slaughter.
The question that I have... Can I make a quick perception check to see if there's anybody listening to us?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's going to be a 28.
Yeah, so you kind of are able to get a good reading on those around you, and no one is nearby. There might be like the occasional person walking past, but they seem completely uninterested in what you're saying.
Okay. The question that I am considering is whether or not we prevent a genocide. And
It may not be something that we can do, but
I doubt we have the means to.
the only way to do it would be to
get them
sabotage their invasion.
or
I
get
do
them
not think
to.
we could convince them.
You do not think so? If we
I could
remind
not.
them,
If we sabotage their invasion, we run the risk of them stopping us
It's true.
from doing what we need to be doing. As much as I understand, and I don't want to see the slaughter of these people, it may serve the greater good.
I can attempt to commune. Perhaps that would give us some guidance.
If you would, if there is an argument that could be made to sway their leadership towards showing mercy, I think we owe it to ourselves to try.
Right.
And if
So,
not, then it would clarify things, as you say.
Abrashmina will, while you guys are talking, pull out some of her incense and begin the ritual for commune.
I'm going to copy the ritual while she's doing it.
I mean, if we could get them to give us time to take out the elder brain or the
Oh, wait.
the
It's not
wizard.
a wizard spell, never mind.
Oh, that's what you can only learn wizard ones?
Yeah. Yeah. What were we saying, Jade? I'm sorry.
I said if we could get them to give us time, hold off the invasion.
It's an idea. If we could perhaps persuade them to loan us a strike force, smaller team ahead of the invasion.
I mean, offer them the opportunity to potentially save their own lives, thousands of their own lives. I mean, I know there's confidence, but
Coburn did say it would take them time to get enough that iron for the war machine. A smaller force could maybe go there now, ahead of them in force.
small strike force gets the job done. Less casualties on their part.
Possible.
We just have to be absolutely sure that we can succeed because we can't put everything that we're doing at risk.
Yeah. And to that end, Barshmina will finish casting the ritual, I hope. And she will commune through her connection with He Who Watches. And the first thing she will ask is, if the Elder Brain is destroyed, will all of the Illithid die from it as a result?
Yes.
Uh, da, 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 da. I can't spell illithid. Okay. Does the elder brain have to die in order to break the Spurn's control of the sandworms?
Unclear.
What questions have you asked so far? I'm sorry, I got disconnected.
If the Elder Brain dies, will all the Illithid die as a result? Yes. Does the Elder Brain have to die in order to break the Spurn's control of the sandworms? Unclear. She hasn't necessarily said she has said those answers out loud yet.
I mean,
Have
I
you?
always do.
I'm just saying that Mina might keep that for a second.
The
I was
one
giving you the
what?
choice. I
Yeah,
wasn't forcing
yeah.
you into anything.
How many
I
questions
was
do you
just
have
going
left?
to say one. I was just going to say, if there is something she is going to ask and keep to herself, I will say so, because I have done that in the past.
Okay. It just
Otherwise, yeah.
Elder Brain dies, everyone dies is very heavy for what you
Mhm.
were just saying. It just Mina might take a moment to ask other questions and see if she gets some more clarity before she says anything. So.
It is unclear. Has to be a yes or no question. If
Could
we
the
kill,
dwarves be? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask if, I'll say this out of character. I was going to ask if the wizards die, will the
Can that break?
illithid go back to normal? Will the
Be free of
illithid
their influence.
be free of their influence and return? It's getting the question a little complicated, but if
I
the
understand it.
yeah, okay,
What are my options?
yes, no, and unclear.
Okay.
Mm,
Uh,
or you might offer a short phrase if the
okay.
one word answer would be misleading or contrary to the deity's interests.
Then the response you get is it is likely, but it is not certain.
Okay. Abarashmina will add that I suppose that it would be uncertain because there is no way of knowing how the elder brain will respond once it is free of the influence. Hmm.
I just have a slight recap. When we first met these creatures and their brain dog things, they tried to eat us / replace our brains with theirs, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That happened several times in that fight or something. And then Coburn has said they are the worst, that they potentially took Duergar, enslaved Duergar, or feasted on Duergar in some
He
response.
he said they weren't super bad before.
Until this happened,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean they weren't great, but they weren't
Yeah.
this bad. Was kind of the impression he was trying to give.
I mean, they've always been like the kind of people that eat other people, though.
Yeah, they've always been
Okay.
bastards.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
So, I just thought I'd point out with Makud, I think that like the boulder-esque amount of special metals that they wanted couldn't really go in any of the bags, and Makud was carrying it in between fights, so we would have like arrived with the menhir-sized boulder of
Yeah,
metal they wanted.
they'd be super grateful if you wanted to give it
So
to them.
I just would have said that he probably would, not that he understands their language, probably would have, seen the Forge Master was excited over such metal and, put it down in front of him
Yeah,
before we
for
went
sure
to.
you would have got like a lot of pats on the back, and you would find
Okay,
that your quarters are stocked with special ale and lots of food, and
okay,
you get some nice commendations afforded to you.
okay. Then Makud is helping himself to special ale and food and things.
I can attempt divination as well, but I am not certain. That one is the one I get a true full reply. It doesn't have to be yes or no.
I think we either offer them the opportunity at a task force, or we just use their attack as an opportunity to do what we need to do.
Well, it sounds like they're going to be doing the thing we would have done ourselves for us.
That they may not succeed without our help. And if that is
You
the
think
case,
we are
we
worth
will-
10,000 men?
I told you, Makud and I are probably easily worth at least 5,000 each.
we were brought
Well,
here for a reason.
10,002 then.
We were brought here for a reason, Declan. If this was going to be resolved on its own, Paz would not have brought us this way.
Well, that's not up for debate, I'm sure. But that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if they are going to assault this elder brain, perhaps we could use the opportunity to find the Dark Wizards. If they are unwilling to consider less genocidal action first, anyway.
Yes, we could offer to small task force to remove the wizards, and we can see if things will become clear. But are these the people? That is a hard thing to decide, not knowing. Not knowing.
Precisely.
And then, if we get our way, kill our way towards this beast-headed mages, and we kill them, and then the brain doesn't like us, and we're in a city full of things that try to eat our brains like before,
It's
then
true.
we're dead,
Quite
right?
so. But those are always the risks, I think, in our lot of life.
And you would rather be dead rather than then we don't kill the spurned. Then the spurned kills the Shah
I
and all the
understand.
Mardu.
From what was described to us, it sounds like perhaps the Illithid were involved in some way with what happened at the Vicar.
If it is decided that it is not our place to interfere in these events, then I will understand. I need to give this train of thought its due attention.
Of course, Declan. But this is the sort of thing that does not sit well with me. The idea of all of these people. But becomes a thing. They are cannibalistic. Well, not cannibalistic, but they are people
Predatory.
predatory people that eat people that have attacked us and seem to attack and enslave others. Maybe they are not beyond redemption, but perhaps this is just. Perhaps they are just aberrations and are not meant to be part of the natural order. My accent is all over the place today.
Declan looks a bit quizzical at that thought. Is anything not part of the natural order? Whatever is essentially part of the nature of the universe.
These things were aberrations, like the things in the lions in the desert. Do not think they were meant to be here.
Perhaps so. If it is to be done, sorry. If
No,
it is to
you're
be,
fine.
if it is to be done, then so be it. But we should be very wary, because if we continue down this path, this will not be the last time we are left to make decisions of such a scale. We become dangerously close to the kind of tyranny we fight, if these kinds of decisions are done casually. I want you to anguish over it.
I do not believe that there is anything our group has ever done could be described as casual. There is always much
Not while I'm around.
There is always much preparation, much deliberation, and it is discussed to death. I would like to cast divination. I'm glad I prepped all of my godly shit. It's almost as if I knew the dwarves are going to give us something to anguish over. Yeah. So Abrashmina is going to cast divination as a ritual. Burn some more incense and another little bit of offering. And she is going to ask a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days. And I must get a truthful reply. Short phrase, cryptic rhyme, or an omen. Doesn't take into account circumstances that might change the outcome, such as the casting of additional spells or the loss or gain of a companion. Blah, 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 blah. And so Abrashmina is going to ask... Is killing the elder brain what we were sent here to do?
It is one path towards the achievement of your goals.
Okay. I realized I asked a yes or no question to the thing it could have been asked anything to. God damn it.
Yeah, there's a fair amount of information in that statement, though.
Mm-hmm.
And most important being that there are other available options.
Does it say how difficult they are, like debating
Right.
the society of brain eaters?
Top 10 ways to deal with the scourge.
If there were a way to banish them, if they are a danger to this plane, send them back to where they came from.
I wonder if I could banish the elder brain. Can an elder brain be banished?
It's not an outsider, technically.
Yeah. If it's an aberration, it's not supposed to be from this place, right? That's how aberrations work. Well,
But then
if
what
I
do you do with the like thousands of elder brainless creatures that are going to roam
Well,
around consuming people's skulls?
They plane shift away. They go chase him.
Would they?
Oh, definitely.
Do you know that?
I'm so confident of this course of action
Okay.
that I wholeheartedly and full-throatedly endorse it.
how did they tell us how far away we were? We're like miles and miles away from the city right now, right?
Yeah, but Coben said they have a fast way of getting there.
I mean, sure, but like we're miles and miles away, so.
Yes.
Okay.
We've walked for like a week, and
Yeah.
we're like the city was off in the distance when we were close.
Okay. I could attempt to get some more clarification, but I would have to run the risk that the answers might not be truthful if I cast any of these again.
I think we have time to take another day if we wish to ask questions tomorrow.
Okay. Abrashmina is going to anguish.
Appropriately so.
Yes. Because she is neutral good. She doesn't want to genocide a bunch of people,
Right.
even if they
Genocide
eat brain.
bad.
I mean, you don't know if the dwarves are going to win or not. Like they were saying
Yeah.
that they need all this metal to protect them against the mind controlling. It's just two nations that are fairly distant from your own, like going to blows.
But I mean,
But
in an honorable conflict, if there is such a thing, you don't necessarily wipe out the entire population. But obviously,
but also the honorable people are not like brain-eating monsters.
Well, I know that, but we don't. Declan doesn't know the full moral character of this race of people, which apparently is not fundamentally evil, according to Rob. So,
but also in the 5 minutes you spent with them, they've tried to eat your brain. And
two of them did.
Yeah, and you've been told that all of them are connected. All of them see all of them know all.
Sure.
So if they acted in that way. And you could always speak to the elder and like learn the Duergar's past history with.
That's something I'm thinking about. Yeah, exactly.
Why would they be in a position to do this? Anyway, Makud is unfortunately not anguishing at all over the things that tried to kill him and his friends.
Nope, they got to die.
Good. I love that you are anguishing. I'm just like...
You can be flabbergasted, that's okay.
Damn it, neutral good. It's
brain-eating squid monsters. How far does your neutral good go?
They tried to murder us. They'd murder us if we gave them a chance. So we gotta murder them back real good.
That's true.
That is not the logic that Declan lives by.
But it's true. They would.
Totally.
They're not going to. Ugh. It's Tiberius and the Mind Flayers all over again. Quick, come! Your people are being betrayed. Well, then, fuck you.
I mean, Makud can't speak to anyone here. he's enjoying the food that he has been given.
Stop
Can't really
chewing
talk to
on
the
my
dwarves.
chair.
He's not really troubled. Like, to save all of his people, the brain has to die. Supposedly, that's what you are telling him.
Mhm.
And those priest things, so he will do his absolute utmost to kill the brain thing and those priest things. And if all those squid things don't die, then it dwarf's problem potentially.
You know
Well,
what? Brushmina is going to risk the 25% somebody gonna lie to her, or it not being her whatever, to cast commune again.
Hmm.
So that is a 25% chance that I will get no answer. Okay, that I will get no answer.
Okay.
The other one, it's the other one where something else might be answering. Okay. So this one is just there won't
Yeah.
be an answer.
So you're trying to roll low, or
You
you're
want to
trying
roll
not to
high.
roll. You're trying not to roll low. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Roll.
You roll. I can't
Yeah,
know
Oh.
if.
it's a
Oh.
secret roll. Yeah.
Oh.
Although it says that I get no answer, so if I get no answer, it's pretty
Yeah.
obvious.
That's what I
But yeah.
figured. Okay, you get an answer. What's
Okay,
the
cool.
question?
Yeah. Okay. The first thing is it a bad thing if the mind flayers all die?
Jeez, man.
He's he who watches.
I mean, it's also Mina can have a thought or a decision
That
of her
the
own.
response you get is that depends who you ask. For the majority, yes. For the mind flayers, that's the end.
Okay.
Genocide. Genocide.
Um. Oh, that would be an unclear. Can we do it as a small task force? Can we kill the Elderbrain with a small task force?
Yes.
Okay.
This is just yes or no questions.
Yeah, these are yes or no.
Okay.
Do you have any?
Yes.
Did we already ask? Did we already ask if killing the dark wizards would end the problem?
It is unclear.
Unclear. Where are the dark wizards and how do we kill them? That's not a question.
Yes.
Curse you, Watcher. No, I got nothing good.
Okay.
I mean, Declan's just,
Ah,
yeah.
I know. Is the entity known as Shay dangerous to Bren? This one is private.
No.
Well, that's reassuring.
You are not reassured, as she said, private.
No, I know. I can be reassured
Okay.
personally, Dan. Don't tell me what to
Sure.
Okay. I am done. She just packs up her incense. All like, I'm done.
But what about the third question? What did you ask?
Declan's kind of letting
Um,
acquiescence settle on his shoulders a little bit and getting quiet.
After packing things up, Abrushmina will give a pointed look to Bryn and give her a small smile.
Bryn will return the smile and yeah. I don't know what it means, but okay.
Well, she's not gonna blab your business in front of the boys.
No,
But
she
she hopes you know what
understands
you mean.
enough. She understands. She'll come to you for clarification later.
Yeah,
Now
keep your secrets
You're drinking
Frodo
wine.
smile.
You're drinking wine.
What?
Abrushmina is all about that mysterious smile. You leave her alone. That's like her MO.
Sure.
It sounds like this is something that is going to have to happen, unfortunately. As much as it pains me to say it.
I don't want to do it as much as anyone else, but
It is perhaps best done by those who would feel the weight of it more.
exactly.
And then it becomes something that does not stain these Duergar as part of their history. That they did this thing.
And Bryn's gonna look
Of
at.
course, they would say that would be fucking great for them if they're like, yeah, our fucking enemy, woo! But yeah, Abrushmina sees it differently. What were you saying, Jade? I didn't mean to talk over you. I'm sorry.
Bryn's gonna look at Declan and say, and we remember the weight of this and the cost of it. And when we have to make decisions like this, we always, always weigh every option first.
He looks visibly uncomfortable, but he's not angry or anything. He just says, "Of course, I agree. If it
No,
must be done, then let it be done."
it was meant to show you that I understand the weight of this. And that I don't want to do this any more than you do.
I know that.
Makud kind of stops from his eating for a second and turns around to you, discussing this all, and he's like, "You doubted that I could fight 10,000 of them. Why do you think you could do the same? If this is what they want to do, what
No.
can we do against it?"
Well, of course, we could not fight them in battle, nor would I suggest such a thing.
I think it was more Makud that we were questioning whether or not we would be a part of it.
Or if they could be persuaded to do otherwise.
Then go talk to them. If
I'm
you want to
considering
persuade
it.
them otherwise, they are out there. We are in here. Go tell
wanted-
that old dwarf by the forge what you think of them.
Go tell them what?
Makud, under the advice of three of you, I am trying very hard not to be so sanctimonious, so reactively with other people. So I wanted to know your mind first, and the mind of Brynhild and Abrushmina.
Well, we have felt the weight, and he points, basically gestures to Bryn and Mina. They do not take that lightly, but there are people that we hold near and dear that could be destroyed by these creatures. But we are new to this world. Underneath the desert sands. You can speak to these dwarves. We can't. Why don't you learn what they have to say? Why a nation wishes to fight another nation. There has to be a reason.
Of course. I may do so.
Just know that I will kill anyone who tries to eat your brain.
On that, at least, I can count. Much of the world is a bewildering place. But I will never be confused about where your loyalties lie.
Duh.
He looks happy in himself, and then he like tosses you a leg of some creature or something, like a joint of meat rather than an actual leg, I presume,
Mm-hmm.
as you are leaving the room or something.
Well, I figure he'd probably take a little while to relax and use the workbench and do
Okay.
some shit like that. Yeah. But I don't know. I've actually got to go pretty soon anyway, so I don't know if we want to
Yeah, me too.
do
Sure.
more roleplay. Because I can talk to dwarves all night, you know.
Yeah. And I will just say for the record, because Eli made it sound like he was going to try and find out information, she will not be initiating any sending with him until he does the sending first.
Understood. But yeah, let's call it there.
Woo!